Hi, good morning. My name is Maria Muñiz. In this video, I will talk about the biological principle of tolerance. The gift represents and activates the cell, the kit, the cancer cell. We will have the following content starting with the introduction. Introduction. In the early 20th century, Paul Ehrlich realized the immune system could fight and instead of reacting only against foreign antigens, focus on anti-immunity measures in type. In the antibiotics, recognizing antigen of erythrocytes reconciles in the destruction of T cells, which in turn lead to anemia. Autoantibiotics are also the main damaging agent in the Hamilton thyroiditis, in which antibiotics react with specific tissue antigens such as thyroid peroxidase and thyroglobulin, causes severe tissue destruction. A fundamental property of the immunity system is its ability to mediate self-defense against the external aggression with a minimum amount of collateral damage. The antibiotic for this system has multiple mechanisms that allow the destruction and eradication of both microorganisms and toxic substance and allergens. We are in the contact with the ability of the immunity system to prevent the destruction of its own tissues is cannot self-tolerance. Immunity tolerance can be defined as the lack of response to an antigen induced by previous exposure. When lymphocytes are exposed to antigen, they can become activated and different to production an immunity response, or they can be inactivated or eliminated, leading to tolerance. The same antigen can introduce an immunity response or tolerance depending on the context in which it occurs. Tolerance in arcade phenomenon and is triggered from the lymphocytes on antigen. The Helen reaction process allows the generate of response of receptor and the spare or generating some receptor capable of reconciling the own component. To address this problem, the immunity system has developed various mechanisms to prevent self-destructive responses from being generated. In this sense, to maintain the state of tolerance, the immunity system has several control points. The first of these is the set button during antigen when the nephi generates T and B cells death. The recounting receptor by certain antigen from the surrounding microenvironment. Reactive cells are aided eliminated by deletion or indirect and Houston mechanisms can know as receptor endings. This process is called negative selective or central tolerance. The functioning of the immunity system required a strict control and self-regulation system to sustain the operation. Its efficiency is possible and adjust to the defense net of the moment. Tolerance. Immunological tolerance is defined as the inability to produce a specific response to antigen, either self or foreign, inclusive with previous contact with said antigen. The antigen the inducing this state of tolerance are called tolerants, differentiating them from those that produce immunity response. Immunogens tolerance develop naturally when the system of self-tolerance fights inability to respond to cell attempts. The appendix of anti-immunity disease occurs. In the following imagining, we can see the classification of tolerance, which there is central and peripheral tolerance. The biological principle of tolerance. There are several mechanisms that protect the individual against potentiality autoactive lymphocytes. They are given the general name of tolerance. A primary mechanism called central tolerance kit T or B cell clones before cell manufacture in the process receive the recognized self-antigens with affinity aggressive to low threshold affinity level. Central tolerance occurs in the primary lymphocyte organs, the bone marrow and thymus. Since central tolerance is not perfect and some autoreactive lymphocytes manage to reach peripheral lymphocyte tissues. These are additional safeguards the lymphocytes that activate. They support precaution including peripheral tolerance, directing lymphocyte present in secondary lymphocyte tissues inactivated or anergic. The possibility or the magnet be autoreactive lymphocyte is further limiting both the lifespan or activated lymphocytes, which is regulated by programs that inducing cell death, apoptosis of signal receptor. Despite this strategy regulatory system, autoreactive T or B cell clones are occasionally activated, generating a myriad of self-mediated reactivity against self-antigen. Such an inappropriate reactive or of the immune system against this outgoing component is called autoimmunity. Autoimmunity. Immunity. No. In the following image, we can see figure number 3. They represent apoptosis, a programming cell. On the other hand, even when lymphocytes are activated by antigens in inappropriate way, there are negative feedback mechanisms that allow these failures to be corrected. This may condition a lack of response or alteration of the effective nature of the response in order to avoid tissue destruction. This immunoregulatory mechanism can be triggered by new cells, such induced regulatory T cells. They slow down the immunity response by valorizing meat such as the production of cytokines that selective inhibit the generation of particular effector type. Conclusions. As we have seen, immunological tolerance is defined as the inability to produce a specific response to antigens, whether it's a wound or frequent induction by proteins contacted with safe antigen. In the biological principle of tolerance, lymphocytes are a potentially autoreactive, which means they can produce an immune response against their own cells, which is harmful to tell cell beds to induce apoptosis, as it represents a threat causing a damage to your body, scaly by selections. This process happens in the maturation of the lymphocytes. Bibliography